Hey, should I bring my broom out? What y'all I know we got one more game. Should I bring? Nah, we gonna wait. We got one more game before I bring the broom out. Listen, man, that whole second half was a party, dog. Up 30 almost the entire time. I got all my screaming out of the way there during that giant party that I was having. Me and my boy watching the game. I don't know how much of that I got left in me because we was going kind of crazy, man. But god damn, what a game, bro. Listen to me. I don't know where I want to start. I think I'm gonna start with this though. Earlier today, I was talking to the guys over on BetQL. They had me on because they want to do a little collab, you know, Bet Nation, Believe in Miami Heat podcast. Wanted to have your boy on, a Heat expert, I guess, using that term loosely, but I appreciate it. They wanted to have me on to talk some Heat Celtics, give a little Game 3 preview, right? And this is what they told me, or this is what we discussed. So the Heat were 4-point underdogs going into this game. I'm sure y'all know that. That's pretty much well aware that we all know they had a 3% chance to win the series as a whole. And speaking of 3, now they up 3-0. But they were also underdogs in every single game, including tonight. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. All I see is this team win and be still undefeated at home. But hey, who am I? I'm just a Miami Heat expert. I don't know. But this is what I told those guys, right? I told them to smash the Miami Heat. I said if gambling wasn't so hard to do in Florida, because it's not technically legal, some stuff, I don't know all the legal terms and stuff. I said I would have made a ton of money because I would have smashed the Miami Heat every single game this series and I'd be a rich man. I would be, but who cares, man? I'm still enjoying the fun either way. I did not hit on my random player prop betting that does not sponsor me, so I will not say their name. I've been making a little money over there too because I know my Heat and I know how they play these Celtics, man. Been smashing the Tatum unders. I'll tell y'all, keep doing that shit. But what was he talking about? Yeah. Told them to smash the Heat, right? And I also told them, I said, if the Boston Celtics are down after the first quarter, I said this game will be a rout and the Miami Heat will blow them out. Well, after being down 8 after the first quarter, the Miami Heat were up 30 going into the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, headphone users. I scream kind of loud. I see my mic peeking on the garage band here in which I am recording. They were up 30 going into the fourth quarter. I apologize again. I know I'm being loud, but we still hype out here, man. Listen, I want to take a step back here first and say, as much as I want to do the whole, I told y'all so, told this, ESPN, stupid, all these people not calling the Heat. It is truly unbelievable what we are seeing from this Miami Heat team. Just to think back, not even a week ago, you know, this team's playing well, we expected things, but think about a month ago. Think maybe the beginning of April, before these playoffs started. Think when they were down 10 to the Chicago Bulls in the second playing game because they lost their first to the Atlanta Hawks. Think if I would have told you that they would not only beat the Milwaukee Bucks, obliterate them, 5 games, match up versus the New York Knicks, smash them too. That I would have expected. The Knicks are going to nick. But then you go to the Boston Celtics and in the Eastern Conference Finals again, rematch, second year in a row, 3 times in 4 years, and you up 3-0, winning the first 2 games in Boston. I could have never imagined that. I'm not gonna lie. After these games, I sit there for a second watching, and I hear Kevin Harlan saying, "The Miami Heat go up 2-0, 3-0, and all these, and all, the end of this game today." Little tear starts rolling down my cheek because I sit there and ponder to a time this year when things were not so bright, and we were watching the most mediocre basketball that I've ever seen. And just to think that the kind of heart that this team has, man, the kind of toughness that they are playing with. It's truly inspiring. It's truly a thing of beauty. And it is one of the most magical things I've ever watched in my entire life. And my God, am I so blessed to be a Miami Heat fan. Truly. You don't necessarily get to pick which teams you root for. I know a lot of people do, but there's all kind of circumstances when you grow up and you kind of get the team that you get to root for. And man, am I lucky that I get to rep this Miami Heat gear proudly. I'm so lucky that I get to root for a team that doesn't quit, a team that doesn't give up, a team that wants it more than everybody else. And that is most evident. That is the most clear thing that I've ever seen. Because I knew if the Boston Celtics were down after the first quarter, they would give up. I knew they would fold. I said that on the BetQL earlier today. I actually posted the video version of that. Talked to those boys for 15 minutes, had a great time. It's the last video posted on this channel earlier today. So make sure y'all check it out if you want to see what I'm talking about here. But what a game. Oh my God, what a game. Every second of this game, my mindset was, don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Bury these dudes in the dirt. Do not give them any hope. And that's exactly what we saw. Man, this feels good, man. Underdogs going into the game, 3% chance to win the series. All this doubt on Jimmy Butler. People are saying Jimmy Butler is not the best player in this series. Get out of here, bro. I'm going to go tag that guy on Twitter. The one that before this series started gave me all kinds of crap when I said Jimmy Butler's the best player in this series. And he coming out here saying, oh, Heat fans just be saying anything nowadays. Jayson Tatum today, 14 points, 6 of 18 shooting. I know all these guys didn't play a lot of minutes because it was a blowout, but 6 of 18 shooting, he was terrible. Jaylen Brown, I was about to say 5 of 13. That was actually Jimmy, which is not good either. But Jaylen Brown, 6 of 13. So even worse than Jimmy Butler, even though I do like Jaylen Brown, and I hope to see him in a Heat jersey very soon. So I want to put that out there so no one can clip this if the Heat do get Jaylen Brown. But that's not what we're here to talk about, man. What a game. The Miami Heat tonight. Let's go over to the three-point shooting because that is a number I have not checked yet, and I'd imagine it is wild. 19 of 35 from three. That's 54% from the arc on 35 attempts. And that includes all these guys in garbage time that are chucking threes, some bad shots because whatever. 54% from three, all the way down to the Celtics, 26% from three. That's 11 to 42. The offensive rebounding numbers, something kind of funny tonight. The Celtics had 21 offensive rebounds. The Miami Heat had 1 offensive rebounds. You look at that. Imagine I tell you this before the game. I say Jimmy Butler has 16 points. Bam Adebayo had 13, and the Celtics out offensive rebound us by, 15, I think? Like 15. Imagine then I told you that the Heat win by 30 points. You would have called me crazy. Now, of course, you don't get the offensive rebounds, but you don't miss any shots. And, of course, the Stars don't score a lot of points when there's rest in the whole fourth quarter because Gabe Vincent, Gabe Curry and Clay Robinson aren't missing any shots. Shout out Duncan Robinson, man. A guy that I've slandered time and time again because he let me down so many times. A guy in myself that used to be the biggest Duncan Robinson stan on the planet was fighting for this dude when he was struggling last year. And then he came into that first game versus the Hawks last year, shot 7 of 8 from three, actually the most efficient game in NBA history. If you look at the effective field goal percentage, whatever that is. And then I was standing on my mountain saying, I told y'all saw Duncan is him, this, that, whatever. And then he sucked the rest of the playoffs. Had me looking like an idiot. So this season, I was done defending him. Felt good. I wasn't sitting there defending the guy that couldn't hit wide open shots, shot like 33% from three, something terrible, right? But this playoffs, oh my God. Now, he struggled in the Knicks series. I think he shot under 30% from three, but overall on the playoffs now, especially after tonight, I got to imagine he's still in the 40s because he shot 73% versus the Bucks, 73% from the three-point line. I mean, my God. I know he got a lot of garbage time stat padding minutes tonight, but he still finished with 22 points on 5 of 7 from 3, 7 of 11 overall. Gabe Vincent tonight, the story of the game, I don't even know if I mentioned him yet. 29 points, 11 of 14, 6 of 9 from 3. Oh my God. Oh my God. And they say that the Boston Celtics are the deepest team. Listen, just because the Miami Heat have a bunch of undrafted guys that you never heard of, that doesn't mean they don't have good players. That means that you're a casual NBA fan, man. And all these reporters and all these announcers keep saying the Miami Heat got undrafted guy here, undrafted guy there. That's disrespectful. And you're not saying it in a way that's like, oh, look where these guys came from. They grinded all this and that. No, you're meaning it in a derogatory term. You're meaning it in a way that you're surprised that these guys are playing well because they're undrafted and because you're a casual NBA fan that doesn't watch the Miami Heat, so you never heard of them. These guys are seasoned veterans at this point. Gabe Vincent was on the Heat team that went to the finals in 2020. Max Strus was on this team the last couple years. He was a key contributor to this team that went to Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Caleb Martin, same thing. So stop disrespecting these guys. Stop saying they're not as good as what the Boston Celtics have, because this Miami Heat team, from top to bottom, from coach to the end of the bench, is way better than anything the Boston Celtics have this year. And that's just the truth. Shall we break it down some more? Erik Spoelstra, Joe Mazzulla, quite literally the biggest disparity you could ever have for coaching in a series. I don't need to get into it. Y'all are seeing it. That's a very important part of the playoffs. I like to say 3 things are important when it comes to the playoffs. Coaching, how good your stars are, and how deep your bench is. Coaching, obvious. Just discussed it. Very minimally. Don't have to get into it. Star player. Jimmy Butler, best player in this series. Said it time and time again. Said it a couple minutes ago. Not even close. Jayson Tatum, 3 straight games now without a bucket in the fourth quarter. Obviously, he ain't played today. I don't care, though. For all intents and purposes, 3 straight games, he scored as many buckets as me and you did watching this video. Same amount of buckets in the fourth quarter as we did. So don't give me the better star players on the Boston Celtics because that's just stupid. Who has the better 2? Bam Adebayo or Jaylen Brown? If you have two eyes and you watch the game for half a second, the obvious answer is that it's Bam Adebayo. So now let's go to the bench. Well, who do the Celtics have? Let's see. They got Malcolm Brogdon. He's had a decent series. Rob Williams, one of the most fraudulent players I've ever seen. Marcus Smart, starting lineup. Say he's a role player, defensive player of the year, great player. Most fraudulent defensive player of the year ever had. Derek White, he's a nice player. But who else you got? You got Grant Williams, first play of the game, checking in on Jimmy Butler, and one. Jimmy pointing to him on the floor, laughing at him. That's the answer? That's the answer to your Jimmy Butler problem? Idiots. The Miami Heat from top to bottom are the better team, and we're seeing that with them up 3-0. We're seeing that. That's why I picked this team. And I picked them in 6 games, but it's looking like it's going to be a lot shorter than that now. Unreal. Can't wait to see how much underdogs they are in game 4. Can't wait to see it. Going to win by 50. I think that's really all I got to say for this episode, man. We've been going for like almost 11 minutes here. As always, shout out the Florida Panthers with another overtime win. Shout out Matthew Tkachuk. I know Jimmy was wearing his jersey the other day. Not saying it's a coincidence. I don't know, man. But of course, we hype in the Miami Heat have a chance to close out the Boston Celtics in a sweep. We will bring out our brooms. That'll be in game 4 on Tuesday. But that's all I got for this episode, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I know we hype. I know you lit with me. So let's get it. I'll see y'all sometime later next week or this week. Tuesday. Probably this week. But we'll see. Take it easy, y'all. Peace out. Bye.
Look, pull up in your city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own. I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off. Yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.